Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to explain prompt engineering. So what exactly is prompt engineering? And I have a very specific definition of this. And I would like to say all respectfully, of course, we're going to try to keep this professional, or we will keep this professional. We are a professional audience. But think of it this way. If you're on social media and you're watching all kinds of videos and you just let's just say renting your brain to all of these YouTubers. So you see a video here, you watch it. You see a video there, you watch it. Regardless of the quality. Let's say you're not focused on the quality at all. You're watching pretty much anything. Okay? You have no filter. Then you'll end up with a lot of bad information, and we call it garbage in, garbage out. So if you're focused on good content, positive content, then naturally your actions will also be positive. So it's the same way with prompts. If you give bad prompts, we call them bad prompts, you're going to end up with bad results. And what is the definition of a bad prompt? Or a bad prompt is a prompt that basically is given to ChatGPT with in mind, or with the perspective that ChatGPT understands what you have in your brain. So when you're writing a prompt, you have to understand that ChatGPT is a large language model. It doesn't know what's going on in your brain. So if you have an idea in your brain, sometimes you'll end up not being clear and precise in your prompt and not giving all the good directions. That ChatGPT is not going to give you the input or the output that you're satisfied with, because for most part, you didn't provide it with all the information. And the causes of this is we can be lazy, so we can be lazy not to provide all the info because we expect that this large language model should obviously understand what's going on in our brains, which is absolutely not the case. And I don't know where that came in. So you need to be really precise. So if you want something, be precise. Think of it as you're explaining something to an 8-year-old. When you're explaining something to an 8-year-old, you're going to expect them to understand pretty much things that a 40-year-old person would understand. So you have to really go in go give the detail. In this case as well, it's the same thing. And I know I've been going for 2 minutes about this, but it's really crucial, because when you do not give enough details, ChatGPT is absolutely not going to give you the information that you desired, and you'll end up frustrated. So always go an extra mile with ChatGPT by providing it with all the information that you deem is important to whatever project you're trying to accomplish. All right, so let's move on to some examples of some bad prompts, and I call them bad prompts. So let me have this prompt, and it's tell me about history. So first of all, if I hit enter, this prompt is, well, it's absolutely going to give me an answer, right? But what answer is that? Because I was not specific. Well, what history? It's really broad and it's not specific. It doesn't talk about anything. So history is vague, and as we know, there's a lot. It's hugely vague. And so number one mistake is do not give prompts that are vague, expecting ChatGPT to understand what you have in your mind. Here's another one. Write something on AI. Now, this one doesn't target a specific audience. It doesn't target a specific AI technology. It doesn't have a scope to it. So it's a question, an open question. It's like a philosophical question. It's an open question. And these are one of the things that, you shouldn't do. You should be specific, have an audience in mind, and basically tackle a specific topic. And I basically want to underline on the point specificity. Right? You have to be specific. All right, here's another example which doesn't have any subject to it, right? Make a list of tips. This one doesn't have any subject. Now, the other ones, they talked about AI. So write something about AI. The other one was about history. At least those have a subject. They have a purpose. But this one, if I say make a list of tips, now, of course, because I was talking about AI before, it might think that, I want some tips about AI. So it will definitely give you an answer. It will always give you an answer, right? So ChatGPT will always give you an answer. But it's just that it's not going to be the answer you're looking for if you're not prompting it right. And so in this case, it gave us a list of tips, but these are tips about productivity, even though I didn't mention anything about productivity. So ChatGPT took the liberty of, this is a open-ended question, and I'm going to answer it in a way that I see fit. And so it gave us a list of tips about productivity. And who knows? Because I wasn't probably wanting productivity tips. Maybe I wanted tips about how to lose weight, or tips about how to grow a Facebook page, or tips about how to make money online. Like, how did it exactly choose productivity? Well, That's namely because of the fact, I repeat, you were not specific. Now, here's an example of a good prompt. Now, if I go ahead and hit enter, summarize the key events in World War II in 3 bullet points. I was very specific as to the event. In this case, it's World War II. Very specific, not deeply specific, right? But specific to World War II, right? And then in 3 bullets, I limited ChatGPT. So if I didn't say 3 bullets, it might have gone to write an article or 20 bullets. I would not have the control over how many bullets. But you have to know that by limiting ChatGPT, you can get the response that you like. Here is another good and final example. In this case, it's write a 200-word blog post about how AI is transforming healthcare. So first of all, I was specific as to how many words are in the blog, right? I didn't just say write a blog. It could have went and written a blog with 500 words, but I specified 200 words. And I specified that it's a blog post, not an article. There is a difference. And I also specified that it's about AI with healthcare, right? In regards to healthcare, not AI in regards to sports or to finance or trading or something else. So this is a clear prompt that you can expect the response that you like. And of course, ChatGPT is providing us with a response. So that's pretty much it for this particular lecture right here. And I will see you in the next one.